Hi everyone, it's Dana again from wholehealthdana.com, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own coconut milk. Now, coconut milk is used in a lot of recipes that I make. I use it in place of anything that calls for a dairy milk, basically. I also put it in smoothies, and it's just really great to be able to make it yourself. You don't have to have it on hand until you're ready to use it. It's cheaper than buying at the store. You can control the ingredients. And one of the things that I really dislike about buying store-bought coconut milk is there are a few exceptions to this rule, but for the most part, when you buy coconut milk in one of those cartons or even in cans, most of them are lined with BPA. So I like to make my own so that I know that I am getting the purest and best product as possible. So let's get started. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to use your coconut. Now your coconut, you want to use 1 part coconut to 2 parts water. So today, I know I have a couple of recipes coming up this week, and I'm going to need some quantity of coconut milk. So I'm going to do 1 cup of shredded coconut. And now this is just organic, unshredded. I'm sorry, not unshredded. This is organic, shredded, unsulfured, unsweetened, just plain coconut shreds. So you're going to pour in 1 cup. And then you're going to pour in 2 parts water. But for our first step, we're going to pour in, I've already heated this. Now this is hot water. It does not need to be boiling, just hot. I actually did mine a little hotter than normal, so it's going to take a while for this to cool off. If you do bring it to a boil, don't wait for it to cool down. Go ahead and use it. And now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit and cool down to room temperature, and then we'll begin the next phase. Okay, so once you've let it sit for a couple hours maybe, and it's completely down to room temperature, you're ready to start the next phase of your coconut oil. You can use it before it's completely cool if you need to. The reason why you want to wait if you can is because when it sits there in that hot water and as it cools off, more of the oils from the coconut seep into it, and that's what's going to help your coconut oil be fattier, I guess. When this cools, when this is done and it's cooled off and in the refrigerator, tomorrow when I pull it out, it'll probably have a layer of just hard coconut fat that's sitting on the top. So you could use that to make your smoothies creamier. You could probably, and I haven't tried this, but I don't know why it wouldn't work, you could use that to make a whipped cream, because I know you can use the fat off of a can. You can use your Vitamix, you can use a regular blender. NutriBullet for me is just easier, and I knew it was going to fit in the container that I had, so it was absolutely perfect. And then I'm just going to I'm going to let it run for about 30 seconds and just kind of chop up the coconut shreds. And for me, that's just to get the most out of my coconut and get the tastiest coconut milk possible. So we're just going to get started. Okay, so once it's done, we're just going to separate it now, the milk from the pulp that's left over from the coconut. So I just use a kitchen tea towel, something that doesn't have like a lot of terry cloth on it. And I'm using the same pitcher that I had let it cool off with in the first place. And I'm just going to line it in here, so when I pour it in, I'm going to be able to separate out those pulpy coconut shreds and have just the milk that's left over. So gather up the tops. There you go, and now you can just use it like a strainer. But I like to get everything out of it. So that's why I do this, because I can really use some force and some pressure to squeeze out all of the milk. And there we have that made. I made 1.5 cups. So we lost a 1/2 cup within the process. And then I'm just going to put this in a jar. And then we're going to get your rest of your coconut oil. It's really easy. So we're going to do the exact same process that we did before. We're going to heat up the water. Now we're going to put in these used coconut shreds into it, and we're going to let it cool off to room temperature. We'll strain it just the same. And now we've got, looks like we're going to have 3 cups of coconut oil. So pretty easy to do. And then most of the time I combine the two. So I'll take my first batch, which is the fattier batch. I will combine it with the second one, which is a runnier batch. It's thinner. I would say that would be like your skim milk. I combine the two of them and just use them together. However, if I needed a recipe that called for a full fat coconut milk, I would use the first batch because that's your fattier one. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode of how to make your own coconut milk. I'm Dana from wholehealthdana.com. If you like my recipes, visit me on the web at www.wholehealthdana.com. And if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter, the links are listed below. So thank you and have a great day.